So, I would say that I've been totally disappointed with today. And I think it's because I've just had a really bad computer experience um, with studying. It took me over 2 hours to find all the information I needed to find. And the website itself has a fault, so you can't see your submission after you've submitted it. You just see a list of people whose submissions you can see, and then it's like, well, where are the rest of them? So um, I felt disappointed in that because I couldn't review my submission and I couldn't put it against other people's words and then see if it's any good and stuff. So um, I sort of delved into reviewing it after I submitted it and put it against other people's work, what other people say and what you say, if it's kind of similar or different. So I usually do take a peek at it, but today is like, where on earth is like my general submission? And I was like, I don't know where it is. So I did a little complaint thing at the end of the discussion. What I said, I can't find my submissions. It's not an easy to use layout like my previous course, and yeah, I was basically outlining that it's no good, and and that I found it more difficult to use. And then I asked another question later, if you need to submit your submission with a cover page, because on our last thing we did, but this one I can't find any cover page, so I'm just checking. Um, I didn't realize you lose 15% if you're not 100% accurate with the words. So I'm like, I hope that's not valid, like, for the last assignment, because I knew I went over a bit in stages. And if I knew it had to be like 100, like, perfect, like, if I knew you lost 15% marks by having it imperfect or something, I would have been like, oh, well, no one said that last time. And so I'm like, I probably didn't do very well because my assignments were longer by quite a few. But they did say, I did feel as though they mentioned in my last subject that it wouldn't affect your grades. They don't expect you to keep your words down to, the direct threshold. I think that I did hear them, and so I was given the impression that going a bit over was okay, but I don't know. But on this one, it's like 15% gets chopped off. And I was reviewing um, my last submission on my previous subject, and they said 15% of your mark gets chopped off. 15% gets chopped off too if you submit it late. And I was like, I didn't know that. So I'm not sure. I think my third submission, I submitted it 4 days late. And so I'm like, well, that means another deduction for me. But they did say in a note, submit by the end of the week. And I submitted a day before the end of the week. Either way, I don't think I did very good because it's like a 95% pass. And I didn't know that either. So I missed all this kind of information. I was like, why didn't anyone say this? Tell me. um, but it's kind of annoying. And this one I think is 50% and you pass or something. I'm like, and I was reading something today and it's like you don't get your final marks for 3 months. And I was like, ages ago they said 3 weeks. It's been over 2 weeks now. So this oncoming week is the third week. So if it's not there by the end of this oncoming week, then what am I saying? If it's not there by the end of this oncoming week, then I'm assuming that the other note that came later that said you won't get your grades for 3 months, and I'm like, what, really? So, but my course isn't doing very well. I feel very disappointed because today I've just got a big headache from going through all this useless information just to get unearth what on earth you're writing about. And it took forever, and I don't know how I found the final link. I went through like 6 links before I finally found the link that was about the actual assignment. And I was like, this is like the worst thing, the worst layout that you could imagine. The last one was kind of clear, well, more clear than this one. And I was like, it's the worst. It really is the worst kind of layout that you could have. I'm sick of this freaking bloody website. I'm sick of these studies. I'm sick of everything. I'm like, I was like having a mental. I was having a mental because it's so annoying. I was so frustrated. I think I got a fever from being frustrated and stare at the computer for like 3 hours to try and figure out what the hell you're supposed to be writing about. And I was clicking here. My first hour was trying to find my submitted responses. So I was like, where's my submitted responses? And then I did my complaint. And then it took me forever to find the right link after like going through information. I didn't do anything today. I was just like sitting at the computer, getting frustrated, being rude to the people on my other computer. And by the end of it all, I was like done. I was like 100% done. I don't want to see a computer for the rest of the day, and I'm not going to turn one on tomorrow because it's supposed to be a good day. And and I'm like, well, that leaves Monday to be the next day that I bother to approach the website again. And I'm like, seriously, it's like the worst website I've ever seen. The way it's laid out and everything, it's the worst. I'm like, this is making my day so hard. It's making studying so hard, and I wasted hours trying to find things when they should already be there. I was like, oh. I was like, this just brushed my evil side just a bit too much, and I'm just willing to throw everything about studying away for a while. But I have next week and the week after before I have to submit like my first assignment, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get a good mark. No way. I'm sulking about it, so it's gonna take tedious hours for me to write a freaking assignment. I'm just gonna have to do it bit by bit, like a paragraph a day, because there's no way I'm gonna just splurge through an assignment and just write one. So I'm gonna have to like do it bit by bit, paragraph by paragraph, and eventually write an essay. It's once again a critical essay, and so I'm like, oh great, another boring critical one where you have to analyze and put your references together, and I'm like, can't we just write already? Can't we just write fiction? I'm just so annoyed. I'm like, before I had today, I was like seriously considering doing another course because I don't need to study that hard. I only need like a couple of days a week. And I was like, I could do another course. There's some other kind of short courses I want to do. But then after today, I was like, no, I better not, because I'm pissed off and I don't want to do any other courses. The only one I would consider is probably one of the art courses. Um, they've got this one at this uni that I sort of remember doing ages ago, but because I lost my certificates, I had to, like, they wipe your files away, you know. And then you go like, oh, can I get a certificate? And they're like, no, you can't get a certificate. And so they totally wipe your files away, and then you have to do the course again if you lose your certificate. And since someone stole all my stuff, I have to do the same courses over again. But I'm not doing very well. So it's like I want to do psychology, but I also want to do art. So art's the easy one. Because you get a lot more practical use. So art's generally the easy one, but I wouldn't do psychology because I used to be good at psychology and law, so I also wouldn't mind doing a history one based on history. I think I could be quite good at that, even though I have to relearn a lot of classical histories and ancient histories and things. But I've always been interested in histories, and I would love to have a degree doing history. So I want to do all these courses, and I'm like telling myself just one at a time, geez. But yeah, I'm also like, oh, I wanna do another course because I've got lots of time. I'm not earning any money, so it's a good time to do a course. It doesn't seem like though we're gonna get a huge tornado this year. I keep thinking I should either move or bring my stuff out here because I'm wasting heaps of money paying for storage. And I'm like, I don't especially want my stuff in storage anymore. I want to have it closer. I'm so upset about everything. I'm upset that I didn't move it already, and I'm upset about a lot of things. Well, today is just like the worst day. Like, I'm so done with my computer. I seriously don't want to turn it back on. It's like I'm just like doing nonsense exercises because I'm just so distressed and I don't want to stop. But days like today, I just regret choosing the study institution that I chose. I'm like, because I just felt overdone. I feel like I'm done with it already, and I'm gonna get over this period. But at the moment, I feel kind of bad. Like I feel really bad that I chose it because I think that kind of disorganization is just so annoying. And I can't even get my head straight at all. So I just want to say forget about it. I collected all that. It took hours to collect that information. I collected it already. And then I'll just have to approach the issue of assignments and things on another day because I'm done. I'm toasted. Totally toasted. I've also been feeling sorry about myself because I've had a lot of bad luck in my life, and then I'm like, I've done all these fantastic things, but I've had also a lot of bad luck, and that's sort of, people just having all these things against you, like personal issues against you or something, whether it's racism or, whatever, them trying to control your life so that it veers towards a certain direction or something. I don't know, but I've had all these interferences, and because of all these nonsense people saying nonsense things and making speculations, it's really sort of dampened everything. Like, it's really let me down over and over again. It's like it's like being set up to fail kind of thing. Even though you had every reason to believe that you could have succeeded, it's like everyone's like punishing you because their skepticisms and their racisms are coming together, and they think that you should never have the opportunity, and so then they make moves to either have you fail or have you cancelled so that you can't succeed. And um and it's because their issues, like whatever is fighting inside their minds, is like striking out that they should wipe you out, otherwise you might deserve something. And so it's like, you know and I had my room cleaned of all my personal belongings, like the things that I had that said, yes, I have my own life, and yes, I'm meeting people, and yes, I'm venturing around the world, and yes, I've studied, and all this other stuff. And for other people, it's like, oh, these are all fake. We'll just take them away because they're all fake, and leave me with nothing. And they get institutions to wipe your records, if they ever even keep any. And if you don't have the exact information, like your exact enrollment date and your student number and things, it's like, any of that kind of information, it's like they'll say, the institution tells you, oh, you didn't ever do a course, you didn't have any of your files on record, and I heard when an employee had a tissy fit against me because they were like, oh, you're not suitable for the workplace. They actually contacted an educational institution in front of my face and told them to wipe my record, very firmly. And then they kept badgering for them to do it until they did it. And it was because they didn't want me to work in job positions that the certificate entitled. And so, people do sort of say, oh, you wipe so-and-so's record because we don't like her even having the opportunity to be able to work in related fields because she's graduated with their studies, and stuff like that. So, they're really like against you. And then it's like, well, I mean, if I had been able to keep the certificate, I could have just studied, another course. I mean, it might sound like a load of nonsense, but, could have just studied, another bloody master's degree or something. And it's like, so all these people are like wiping away like my real efforts at succeeding in something. And then, in the end, it's like, all they want to do is blacklist you. All they want to do is wipe away everything that you've tried and everything that you've done so that you can be a loser who no one respects in any way. And you can be put under abuse because, you don't deserve anything more and all this other stuff. And so it's like, and they just wipe everything away, and then it's like, and then you're left with nothing. And it's like, I'm pretty sure I've done all these things before, and it's like I have to redo them all over again. It's like, oh, this is like so unfair. Other people's narcissisms and stuff. It's like, SUCK, it sucks. And it's like, if I ever win awards, I mean, they're floating around with the people around the world, and it's like, I don't have anything virtually, and they would have been stolen anyway by now. So, I mean, sometimes you can say, well, in truth, if I'd kept them, they would have been stolen during this, rampage of. I had like 2 rampages where people just took everything of mine, and to leave me with nothing. So, so I have very few personal belongings as a result, but I did manage to keep some things, just not everything. and I haven't unpacked my stuff for ages, like for 5 years. My stuff has been in boxes for like 5 years because it's like it's in storage here, it's in storage there, and you know, and even when I have my own space, I can't like sort anything because I've had to store things instead of have things in allocated in places like handy cupboards or storage cupboards or anything, because the places I stayed is virtually just a really small room, which is like, I like to think the space in the room is like 1 by 1 meter square kind of thing, after you've got all my stuff in. So my stuff has been sitting in storage boxes for like over 5 years now. And it's been in storage ever since I moved here. And even at the other place, it was still in storage. It was in storage in the garage. And then it's still in storage. It's in storage for around 10 months now in a storage center. And I'm like, all my stuff is like, I don't know, I need more space. I need my own house so I can shove everyone. And then I'm like, yeah, there's not so much stuff. And now that I actually have a cupboard and places that I own, and it's so annoying. I'm never gonna own anything because I haven't earned crap. I haven't earned crap money. I haven't earned any money. I have extremely low super. So come in, I don't know, I think I got 25 years before, essentially considered retired. And I don't have any nest egg for retirement. Or anything. I don't know, like, I'm so done with all this crap. And I'm sad for myself that I could have achieved such and such, but no one lets me because I'm blacklisted by people's egos too much. And it's like, oh, in our perfect world, you shouldn't be given a chance. And then I try something and I start to impress and I start to be an achievement. And then it's like, no, we're not happy with you having an achievement kind of thing. So it's like, it's so unfair. Because, the whole world of money is like building up. Things are getting more expensive too. And it's like, and people are too busy pushing you down the mud and keep you there. And then realize, hey, the world's getting expensive. I think everyone should be allowed the opportunity to make money and to achieve what they achieve and have that lead to some sort of benefit, rather than be like, oh, we hate you achieving this and let's just blacklist it and take it away before anyone notices. But it's a lot of socio-political garbage just floating around, and everyone's like, it's okay for the world's richest people, but they're like wanting to stay that way and not allow anyone else to whatever's, and everyone's gonna be like, oh no, that's not true, because everyone's like has many opportunities, and like, really, because I've met this and I've met that, I've got a lot of complaints, and it's like, well, everyone else is doing okay but you. So I don't know, I guess you're always got a contesting opinion, but I don't know, I just feel like sometimes like sad for myself. I'm gonna have space to feel sad for myself. So this goes along with a big fat headache of having a dumb annoying website that has, it needs what do you do when you say that a website needs developing? It's some sort of, I don't know, it needs to work on its, I forget. I learned it once. I learned the word, but I don't remember it right now. They have to be redeveloped so that people find it easy to access information rather than waste a whole day where they could be studying and doing stuff, waste a whole day looking for stuff. It is so annoying. I was so frustrated. Like, I felt like I wanted to just turn red in the face and explode. I literally just wanted to just have a temper because it was so frustrating. And that's what got me low in the first place today. That the website's faulty. The website sucks.